Not a very big fish, but big enough. Nice little appetizer. Alright, so we decided to set up the tent because those flies were just crazy. Like, you've never seen horseflies like this before. I know some of you guys back there, you're thinking to yourself, you're such a pussy. Just a few horseflies. No. No. It is insanity. You know, I can handle the mosquitoes, the black flies, because the DEET actually works on them, and it works on the horseflies to an extent, but they'll still buzz around your head constantly. It doesn't matter how much of the stuff you soak yourself in. They probably won't stick around for a bite, but it has to be the most annoying thing ever. So another lesson learned, horseflies will drive you absolutely crazy. See, when I was tree planting, you'd always be moving, so it was kind of an incentive to move faster, but you don't want to be sitting there flailing your arms around, you know. And the problem with doing that is that you're attracting more because you're constantly trying to shoo them away. So it's almost like what's that movie, World War Z, where the one zombie starts making noise, or maybe there's Walking Dead. One zombie starts making noise, and that attracts other ones, and then those ones start making noise, and they attract other ones, and it's this exponential effect. That's kind of what happens with the flies. You know, they see something happening, and then they all flock to that one place, and they accumulate and accumulate until you just find a place of refuge like this, and they've all left now. But if I go outside in 10 minutes, I guarantee you, doesn't matter how hard the wind's blowing, those things are built like tanks. They're flying into headwinds. They don't give a shit. been a nice morning so far. Unfortunately, last night, after a day of horsefly hell, there was about an hour where there was nothing between 9 and 10:30. And I thought to myself, wow, you know, this ain't too bad. You know, I just got to deal with the horseflies basically from 8 a.m. till, you know, 9 p.m. And the rest of the night is going to be awesome, no bugs. Well, I went for a dip in the pool, that is the lake, at around 9:30 or so. And it was awesome. I seen all these dragonflies, they're all around me. I couldn't see any bugs. So I'm like thinking to myself, what are these dragonflies eating? Sure enough, at around 10:30, just droves of mosquitoes just came out of nowhere. So it was sickening, man, sickening. Little tip for bugs, with the exception of mosquitoes, most flies don't like entering a space, an enclosed space, unless there's seemingly a way out. So you'll notice that black flies will never enter an enclosure. Horseflies typically won't enter an enclosure. They will enter a vehicle because they think that they can get out the other side through the window, and when they realize they can't, they get all crazy. But just something for you to keep in mind if you're outdoors and you only have a tarp or something like that. If you can make it into an enclosure with only one entry point, most flies are not going to enter. I don't know why that is. They just don't. Black flies in particular will never enter an enclosure. So it doesn't have to be, you don't need a net to prevent flies. You only need a net really to prevent mosquitoes. So the weather is a little unpredictable right now. We got white caps and it's only 5:30 in the morning. I thought I would capitalize on this bug-free time because I don't know how long it's going to last. The horseflies are going to be out in mass today from about 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. So I wanted to capitalize on this time just to sit and relax, have some coffee. It didn't storm last night like I thought it was going to, so that was pretty cool. But this weather is going to make it hard for me to go fishing this morning. I know where the fish are, but they're a good 20-minute paddle away, and that's a guarantee. I know where they are. Every time I cast into this one area, I catch a fish. But like I say, 20 minutes away. I may actually check out another part of the lake today, and it's part where I was catching them quite a bit last year. See what I can get there. Marshall's pretty exhausted. He had a lot of firsts yesterday. Among those was swimming. So I went out to go and fish, and I got about 50 meters out and he started yelping and screaming, and then he ran out. And I had to say, no, don't. So I had to come back to shore because I didn't want him to try to swim all the way out and jump on the kayak and tip the kayak over and all the rest. But that was one thing that got him in the water. I couldn't get him into the water, but when he seen me seemingly leaving, he jumped in the water and he started swimming. So it was quite the sight to see. I wish I would have had it on video. But the bugs have got to him also. He's still kind of getting used to this outdoor life. He's got a thick coat which prevents the bugs from biting most of the time, but they'd like to bite their face. So I rubbed a little bit of DEET on there for him. So that hopefully that helps. I didn't bother with the nano stove. I just threw my kettle right by the fire, heated up the water. That's one great thing about a big kettle like this, is this was probably like a $70 kettle. I can't remember what the name of it is, but you just fill this up with water, put it by the fire, and it's gonna boil your water for you, basically. You don't have to worry about a stove or anything like that, as long as you don't melt this part, which might even be some kind of silicone. So yeah, it's been a good morning so far. I'm just really
trying to savor every moment before the flurry of black flies or horse flies comes out. And I'm really also trying to savor the long days, because the days are already getting shorter, sad to say. And you know, at this point between June 21st and mid-July, that's the best. You know, it's the best time to be in Canada. That's the warmest it's ever going to be. So, got to capitalize on that as much as possible. You know, I'd really like to see how Kenton from Rewild University would deal with the bugs up here. I know he has a non-resistance approach to things and doesn't seem to be bothered by bugs, but I tell you, man, up here it is crazy. It might have something to do with my diet, I don't know, but even Marshall, they're just unleashing on him. Like the horseflies, this is something you have to prepare for when you're in the deep sticks in Canada, is you're going to want a copious supply of bug repellent or clothing with, what's that chemical called? Is it permethrin, or there's a chemical you can put on your clothing that's supposed to prevent bugs from wanting to go on it, and it's like a permanent thing. That's another option. There's the mosquito shirt, which I didn't bring out, which I'm regretting, but even that doesn't work 100% either. Rhino skin. So yeah, I'm really hoping that the seas calm down here so I can get out onto the water before 9, 10 o'clock, because that's when the fish seem to bite the most, early in the morning around the shoreline. So let's see what happens. Not big, but not really small either.